Hey, what's happening, everyone? Aaron Jackson here, aka Rotation Report. This is not financial advice. For the love of God, I don't know what the hell happened today. Take the damn hint. I don't know what's going on. What a day today was, and I guess this is the third time ever we've had a gap up of 1.5% in the S&P 500, and then it closes red. The only two other instances right after the COVID low, and then right during the tariff tantrum in April. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. It was a hell of a trading day, no doubt about it. But I think first thing up is we've got Bitcoin here, and Tom Lee. There's a video out. I guess he was on doing the media today, and he says, "Well, there's a little bit of a software glitch, and basically that's just causing the cascading declines in Bitcoin just because of." I don't know. They just say it's a glitch, and that's not great. That's not great. But we do know you get to the 75K area here in Bitcoin. I think we're all just ready for it. Just get it there. Let's just get it to 75K. Unwind this thing. We'll buy the damn dip. Uh, that sounds good to me. I don't know about you, but anyways, the micro strategy. Again, that's kind of been the leading indicator here. Uh, it started to show weakness relative to Bitcoin a long time ago, so half a year ago now, right? And started bleeding out. And it's like, okay, that's a tell on Bitcoin, which is a tell on market liquidity. Interestingly, we're starting to see a lot of down weeks in a row. So you can make the argument for a washout. Right here, even it's an extension out of this little move here. I don't have it on the chart, obviously, but it did bounce there, right? It's the number's 174. So that's one number we're watching intraday. But if you just look at the weekly, like if we're just going to have a whole bleed out, a whole crash, and just get this damn thing over with, okay, right there, 130s, something like that. That'd be nice. It would probably just be a trade, and who knows how long that would last. But it would be the washout we're kind of looking for, but time will tell. Kind of interesting. MicroStrategy did quit going down in the back half of the day while other things unwound. So, and then if we look across the crypto a little bit, earlier this week, we had Ethereum run into this 2800s level, this 27, 28, something like that, right around here. Nice little support zone, nice little pivot area. So, hey, maybe it can hold up here. Solana, look at that, 120 ish, something like that. Nice long time pivot zone. I know I've got some smart friends, Patrick Donawilla and Donovan Jackson. They both called out about 100K. There's a one of those VWAPs, the volume weighted average prices, couple of those lining up around 100 there. So maybe you get the flush to 100 and a recovery. Maybe I don't know, but those are some levels to watch on the Solana. And hey, so far for the week, Doji week, which considering not collapsing, pretty good. And then we've been waiting for so long on the S&P 500% of stocks above the 50-day moving average to just completely wipe out here after diverging from the markets for a while. And we're getting there. 31%, not bad. Given what we've seen and how long the divergence lasts, you do kind of think like maybe 10, maybe even lower at some point, and maybe that comes soon. But we're getting there. We're getting there. You could say maybe 15, 20, I don't know, but I think we're let's be honest. Let's be honest. You got levered ETFs on quantum stocks and all sorts of bullshit. Like, who knows how much leverage is in the system? It would make sense if it's just a complete 22-ish type of washout there. And then the fear ratio made some good progress on today's reversal. Spiked pretty good, but it's not unabated fear. Like, people are seeing this and they're like, well, maybe I can buy the dip. I can buy the dip. It's worked. It ain't working now, but so you can see it can spike for another, little bit here. We get some more of these signals to wipe, align with the Bitcoin 75K, whatever, and you get the huge spike. And then it gets really interesting. But moving on, we've got EQT here, natural gas producer. We're just looking for something that's not correlated to all this bullshit, right? Like nothing that has a levered stock or tied to any levered ETFs. And natural gas, that's a candidate. And my God, the forecast looks like it's going to be freaking cold moving forward up here in the Midwest. So, maybe we can have opportunity there. And then software, man, it's leading lower. It is leading tech lower, no doubt about it. Interesting that this little trend line from prior breakout is in play a few percent from here, maybe 96, something like that, 97. That's kind of interesting, right? So, again, another potential little washout zone, but we will see. 89 is really the biggest level on the chart there. But then, people are like, oh, well, let's just go to other places. Let's go hide somewhere else. And yeah, that's true. That's true. But like where, right? Pharma stocks have worked. Energy's tried to work. We got banks. They tried to break higher. JP Morgan. I don't know. This whole structure looks pretty suspect. Looks like it can go to shit really quick. But you're seeing a 40 RSI on the daily. And we are seeing some really weird RSI readings that definitely make you think, okay, somebody's are definitely blowing up, but maybe some of these things can like morph and change in the coming days. You're seeing that something similar in Tesla. It's like, okay, Tesla might be a bear flag, but it's actually, it's the structure is kind of interesting. But it's just time will tell. But I think we want to let everyone else figure that out in real time. Let them run the experiment. Frankly, it looks like a lot of cash is a good way to go here. And then we've got lithium. Oh, nice mover there. It's been hot these last couple of weeks, but reversing here, and you can say, hey, wait a minute, just reversing at this old neckline area. It's been a hell of a move. It's been a hell of a move. So, the risk reward is just not good. But you moved to nuclear. Very interesting. They tried to front run the support, this old high test here, and then they did, and then today it crashed in your face, like 7, 8, 9% off the highs. Incredible stuff, really. But so maybe it can stabilize here. Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to go get that 200-day test here, 107. That's an old, a nice little support kind of pivot area as well. So, that would be an area I'm looking for a trade, no doubt, like a Cameco, something like that. There's Centrus, LEU, but Cameco might be the way to go there. And the uranium miners, probably just in general, outside, you don't have any SMRs or OCLOs or any of those things, and that's probably at support now too. So interesting stuff. And then here we go. We got the 7 to 10 year Treasury bond ETF, and we talked about this recently. This little fake breakout, right? You thought, hey, maybe these rates are going to go lower, break below the April low. They're not. And now we've got this. It's nice wedged up here. And why we think that matters is like, okay, you got the financial markets kind of collapsing here, things falling apart. Don Jr. being like, Dad, what the fuck? And then they don't care if rates are going down, right? But okay, but we saw this in April. Like, okay, what happens? The rates start to spike. Then what? Then it gets pretty gnarly. Something's going on in Japan. The yen's moving like crazy. Yields are ripping. These international treasury markets, the liquidity's kind of dried up all of a sudden, and things are going wild. So, these yields start to rip. Then it gets interesting. We'll see how Besant reacts. But until the yields rip, do they really give a shit? No, not really. And then we've got junk bonds versus treasuries, long-term treasuries. TLT there, and holding up long term, this old breakout area. Nice job holding up there recently. And you can see it hasn't really dragged lower with the market, which is good. But however, it might start like tomorrow if things really pick up. We're keeping an eye on this. It's below the 200-day now for the first time in a long time, just kind of stuck under it. So we want to keep an eye on this guy because it does not look so great. And then if we really want to zoom out and all these leading stocks, Micron, holy shit, high of 260 this week, and it's 200 now. We're looking for the 150s, mid 150s, if we're going to have something big blow up. Well, okay, give us a big blow up. Give us some big, juicy entry spots like this Micron in the 150s. Now, you can see like it sold off at the prior Fibonacci extension, and then look what happened. You're like, oh, well, maybe I can buy 95, 97. No, no, went all the way down to 60. Oh my God, that was a pain in the ass. But, it gets really interesting once you get back to the zone here. Whatever it does, 140, 150, 125, whatever. But that's kind of the area we're looking at because like we could be getting some really juicy entries in your microns, in your networking stocks, that type of shit here in the coming weeks. And then Nvidia, we talked about it last night on the video where it's like, okay, the AI is great. We all know the AI is great. However, there are some other things lurking, and boy, they are. So, okay, let's put some numbers on it. Again, over today's high, cool, maybe 260. If not, the risk is down to about 150, and we're what 180 now. So yeah, not a minor amount, about what 15% or so. So just worth keeping an eye on that. And then yeah, you look at some of these things we've talked about momentum and high beta recently. Damn, look at high beta. This thing it's the top breaking down, right? And if you keep going further out and you keep extending, it's just a bigger top and a bigger top. So yeah, we want to be mindful of risk for sure and be pretty picky because I think we can get some really good spots and some really good stocks moving forward. And the last thing I wanted to look at was staples relative strength, consumer staples relative strength. Uh, you know, big move, big move. Now it's outside the upper Bollinger Band here on the daily chart all of a sudden. And I was just wanted to do a quick study on that. And you see, like sometimes you hit that upper Bollinger Band and the selling is kind of basically over with in the indices. Uh, it's not perfect, but you go back to March, you get washout bounce before another leg lower. Maybe that's what we have going on here. April, you had the bigger washout. August, just that was the end of the minor dip. And then in October, we did have that a little bit here before another rally. But you see, like, you know, it does kind of mark the fear getting a little overdone, and that kind of lines up with the fear indicator. But hey, end of the day, who the hell knows what's going on out there? People are blowing up. It's just we got to make sure it's not us, right? That's number one. Live to fight another day. And thanks for tuning in. And if you liked the video, do me a favor and like the video. And until next time, friends, I'll have a great night.